What's up, guys? Today we have an exciting project. We will be unpacking and using a portable paint booth. As you guys know, we've been trying to tear down the 54 to the point where I can repaint it one day. And we're going to be testing out this new paint booth that I got in order to do painting on the 54 on a friend's hood. He bought an old, I think it's a 60s Mini, so extremely small car. Think of like a small car in your mind, and it's probably even half the size of that. It's like a little clown car. But anyways, we got this little portable paint booth, and we're going to put it together. I have got my wife's help, Lana, because this thing is freaking heavy. It is really heavy. In fact, I used Kermie over there, the little tractor, to help me out to kind of move it around. It is extremely heavy. This is one of the bigger paint booths. I chose this specific one because it has 3 blowers. It has like a main bigger one here to actually blow the booth up, and then it's got 2 other blowers to move air throughout it. Because one of the biggest complaints I've seen of these portable paint booths is that they don't move enough air for paint to come out. Even with the 2 fans, I think that's still probably going to be a little bit of a problem. But it should be good enough with a small little hood to test out, and I'll make some adjustments before I start painting the 54. So without further ado, let's open this thing up and get it blown up. Alright, let's catch you up to where we're at. So here's the fans. You can see these, it's kind of a little bit hard to tell, but these are the smaller ones. This one's slightly bigger. As you can see, the motor part over here is bigger. So that's going to be the one to blow it up. Those are like the air mover fans. This is the paint booth out of its straps and everything. So once we get past this point, that's it. They do give you a bag. It comes in this bag right here. Now all the reviews online says once you take it out of the box, you're never going to get it back in that bag. We'll see. I have an idea in my head about maybe using my shop vac to get all the air out of this, and maybe us trying to get it back in there.
Oh God.
So let's get this thing unfurled. Let's see if we can figure out where the front is, because I'm probably going to want the front away from the shop. Let's get this thing unraveled. So this is where we're at. Excuse the car noise. We do live on a freeway. We got it mostly unfurled. I'm hoping this is all we have to do. As long as we can access the blower points, things should unfurl on its own. That's my hope. I hope we have the back end on the right direction.
I think we probably should have read all of these directions that came with it first. But in true historical fashion, did you? No.
I'm a man, so no, of course
Exactly.
not. Let's see if we can find the blower points here, and we'll get this thing blown up. Alright, so we got the blower in position. This is the blow up tube, the red. I got a 3-way cord. I'm gonna have to look at, because there's multiple blowers, I'm gonna have to look at how many amps these things pull, because you definitely don't want this thing to deflate while you're painting. Looks like 8.6 amps. Hopefully the smaller ones are less, because most household breakers are like 15 or 20 amps. So if you got 3 of these running, I don't know if that's gonna go on one breaker, but we'll find out. We're gonna tie this tube here. They give you like an attached yellow strap there. You're supposed to tie it as tightly around the little nozzle as you can. So we'll do that, and we'll start blowing this thing up.
ladies and gentlemen, is why you read the instructions.
Okay, Lana got a little vindication.
Vindication?
I tied into the red one, and that's not the right one. There's supposed to be a white one somewhere. So Lana's actually gonna read the instructions.
Look, they even printed it on this nice cloth. They have pictures and everything. This is why you read the instructions.
Who needs instructions?
You do.
There we go, here's the thing blowing up. It is quite the trick to get all this like pushed up to where it grabs air. And of course somehow I cut myself in my hand, so I got blood somewhere on the paint booth. But that's, if I'm not bleeding, I probably didn't work on it. I tend to bleed everywhere. So anyways, here's the paint booth. This thing is huge, but I guess it has to be if you're gonna put a whole car in here. It's definitely surprising how big it is. You know, you look at all the reviews, and I guess you do have to have space because you do have to be able to like walk around the car, so it can't be tight against the car. So let's walk in this thing for the first time. I mean, honestly, this is like an adult playhouse. You could probably host an event in here with like a little portable AC. It would be great for that. They do have emergency exit, so I'll have to Velcro this up. And then I'll have to Velcro that side. So this particular model actually has like a room. So this is where, if you wanted to mix paint or do something like that in here, have like a little sterile room before you actually step into the main paint area, you can. There's vents on this particular model, so right there, you can replace those. You can see they're kind of not square with everything, so you're probably gonna have to make those so where they're actually covering the whole hole.
It's like your version of an adult jumpy house, isn't it?
That's what I was just telling our audience. You could pretty much hold like a family event in here.
Come on over, enjoy dinner in our paint booth.
Put a table in the middle, have a little portable AC.
Once you paint in here, doesn't paint get on all this crap?
Yeah.
So you're gonna like make your guests like have fumes and make them all go home like sick?
Yeah.
You're a terrible host.
So anyways, this thing's pretty cool. I think it's time we need to hook up the
what is this?
The ventilation fans and see how that works.
What is this one?
That's the sterile room, or like the paint mixing room. So the idea is you close this one up, right? But you can open up that, you enter, close it, then open up this one, and you're not allowing like bugs and debris in here to get on your paint. And also that little room, like this little area over here, you can set up like a paint mixing station.
This is some high-tech redneck crap right here.
Alright, so we learned a lesson here. We got the main blower one and the two air circulating ones. They're off right now because you can see we had a little bit of a problem. After closing all the hatches, this thing became more airtight. And so as you can see, the tubes aren't overinflated. Like these blow-up tubes aren't the problem. It's the positive air pressure inside of it. So we were pushing air in from the outside and it was causing it to blow up like a balloon. This thing was wanting to fly away. So there's got to be some kind of vent or something. We're gonna have to read the instructions on how to keep that from happening. I know there's staking points on the corners where you're supposed to keep it air down, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be creating that big of positive pressure. So we opened up these to kind of air out but I don't think that's actually letting air out from the inside, so we're gonna have to figure that one out. All right, learning curve number 2. These are for the air actually filling it up. This is not ventilation. This is your ventilation. So behind this cover, there's like a filter. It's kind of like, so I believe you're supposed to uncover this, and the thought process is the air being pushed in has to come out through this filter. It also keeps air from going in. So we'll leave it like that. And so now if I turn the fans back on the inside, all the positive pressure on the inside of the tent should come out the filter. These front ones are also filters as well. As you can see, this is all Velcro. These filters are Velcro as well, so you can probably buy these filters aftermarket after every once in a while and replace them. And so now all the air inside should be coming outside pretty freely. Alright, it's time to start mixing paint. Just FYI, if you're here for a how-to paint video, this is not it. But I do have this Summit single stage paint. It's British green. You know, it's a little old 60s Mini, and he likes that green color, so we're going to try it out on the hood here. Got my activator over here. That's the paint gun cleaner. There's the urethane activator. I did get this system from Harbor Freight. This is not a Harbor Freight ad, but I'm going to try it out this time. This is like disposable liners into a cup, and you have like this lid and this guy, so it makes it easier. You can measure, and there's a whole lot less cleanup involved. So we're going to try it out. We're going to be looking for 4:1. So as you can see there, we got the 4:1 area, and we're going to be doing our mixture. We're pretty much going to use up what's left of this green paint, because I've already attempted to paint this hood once before and made a couple mistakes. But here we go. We're going to mix up some paint and test out this paint booth. Alright, we're in the paint booth now. I got my mask. I probably should be wearing gloves and stuff, but for a short hood like this, I can worry too much about it. Got the hood set up, got my paint gun set up, air hose in here. I got the back doors closed, so now air coming in should only be going through all the filters. So with that being said, nothing left to do but to get to painting, I guess. Alright, so we got the first coat on. It's pretty loud in here. I think you can probably hear me. We need to let this flash. There's definitely some corrections I need to make to my gun. I made those corrections on the box over there. There's way too much air, way not enough material, so that's going to cause me some problems. It's going to cause me some elbow grease later on to get it all smoothed out. But at least that was just the first coat. I think I have it figured out for the next one. Like I said, this is not a how-to video on painting. This is just using this booth. So far, you know, just painting this small little piece in this huge room. I'm not really getting that like overwhelming paint that you see on other reviews, you know, like the paint fumes just kind of floating around. But like I said, I'm only painting this small little piece, so maybe when I paint the 54 one day, I'll probably have that problem. Other than that, this thing is pretty nice. I'm not having leaves fall on my stuff. I know you're not supposed to be using this in the rain. It is not watertight. There's no chance of rain today, so I'm okay with that. So only thing left to do is to finish letting this flash off, and we'll come in with the second coat. I can tell you one thing that's really annoying is this. So the nozzle on the fan is only like this big, but the red that it's feeding is way bigger. And so you have this bad vibration. One, I don't think the stitches are gonna hold up long term with this. It's probably gonna rip them out. And then another thing, it's just really annoying to listen to. You know, because you're just vibrating. I've tried to position them. I've tried to like fold them over itself to shorten it up to get rid of a lot of that, but man, it's very irritating. You may also notice I'm running one of the fans on the generator. To me, the amperage is too close for comfort. So these little fans right here are 6.5 amps each. The bigger one is 8.6 amps. So 6.5 plus 6.5 is 13. Plus 8.5, 22? No, 21.5. So to me that's like, whatever that is, my breaker is only like a 20 amp breaker. So I feel like flipping your breaker in the middle of having this inflated is probably not a good thing. So I'm running one of them on my generator. Another thing is these freaking Caterpillar things love this paint booth. I don't know why. It must be the white, but they love it here. But one of them made its way inside somehow. But man, they love this thing. So just keep in mind, because of the white color, bugs are going to be attracted to it. So just keep that in mind wherever you're using it. But we're still waiting on the hood to flash. I can kind of see it getting dull, so I think we're almost there. See, there's that vibration I'm talking about. It's very irritating. Alright, there she is. She's got 4 coats on her. It's definitely not perfect, but it looks better than my first attempt. We're definitely going to have to do some wet sanding to kind of smooth it out, get rid of some of the orange peel, but overall it's looking pretty good. I do like how this Harbor Freight paint system, like the inner cup collapses as you're using it. Kind of gives you an idea of how much is left, because you know the green or whatever color you're using is going to stain the whole thing. You're not going to be able to look into it, but as it's collapsing, it's taking the air out of it and you're still just getting paint, so that's pretty cool. And upside down, turn the lid. There we go. We just got to clean out the gun and this guy, and we should be good. Alright, gun cleaned, hood painted. I will say if there was a complaint about this that I would have is that the circulation blowers do not really circulate into the room. I get it. They want these filters to filter the air coming from the blowers that the blowers are sucking in, so you're not getting dust and stuff in there. But it seems like you could have tunneled that air through some kind of vent on the inside, or at least maybe a small vent from the main blower to come in here and kind of push air out more, because when you walk in this thing, there is zero circulation. You can feel it. And that last time when I got the paint adjusted right, and I actually had good paint coming out of the gun, even with just painting that small hood, you could start to feel the paint kind of circulating in there. And it really wasn't moving outwards towards the filters. So I kind of see what other reviewers are saying now. Is it a big deal for me? Probably not, but maybe it will be when I paint a whole truck. Oh yeah, it's looking way better. That's looking pretty good. I like that. Well, the reviews were wrong. You can get it in the bag, unless Bonooth listened to everybody and came up with a bigger bag, which they might have. But you see how massive this thing, Lana is. How tall are you, Lana, now?
Now? I've been 5'4" since the 7th grade.
Have you checked lately?
Yeah.
But you see how big this thing is compared to her. I mean, this thing is heavy. I use my little tractor to move this thing around. So it's definitely not a lightweight. We accidentally pulled the white... I accidentally pulled the drawstring out one side, so she's trying to fish it back through. But yeah, it's doable. Just takes 2 people for sure to get this thing closed back up. Alright guys, so what do you think about the paint booth? I think for my purposes it's going to be perfect. It's not perfect, you know, there's some air circulation things that they could definitely address and make better. But for like DIYs, you can see I'm surrounded by trees here. It's perfect for me. It allows me to paint without ruining my truck. It allows me to minimize the amount of like little dust specks and stuff that get in the paint. It allows me to give me a clean space just to paint and not be bothered by bugs and wind and all the things. So I think it's going to be great for me, especially in my DIY application. So this was about 13 or 1400 bucks. Is it worth that? Well, we'll see whenever I paint the truck, won't we? So anyways, hope you enjoyed this unboxing, review, usage kind of video, and I put a lot more on it. Remember that this stuff cost me a lot of money and time, so do me a biggie and give me a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.